the general election. Texas Congressman Ron Paul says the GOP race is not over yet. The man with a growing fan base also has a growing roster of delegates. Chief Political Correspondent Carl Cameron looks at what Paul's endgame might be.
Mitt Romney made Ohio his first campaign stop of the week to rebut the president's weekend attacks in the potentially decisive battleground state.
His vision is to keep spending about $1 trillion more every year than we take in. In my view, that is not just bad economics, it's immoral for us to pass those obligations on to the next generation.
Among 12 key swing states, including Ohio, the latest Gallup poll has Romney virtually tied with the president. Gallup says Obama's backers are about 10 points more enthusiastic than Romney voters. It's also a virtual tie in the highly respected George Washington University battleground poll nationwide. But among independents who often decide presidential races, Romney leads by 10 points, though he still faces GOP opposition.
You know there's a still ongoing presidential race in this country?
Ron Paul's won no primaries nor caucuses and poses no real threat to Romney, but if Paul wins a plurality of delegates in 5 states, his name could be offered up for nomination in Tampa, which could win him lots of attention at Romney's convention. This weekend at the main state GOP convention, Paul backers elected 23 out of 24 delegates for Paul. But Romney won the main caucuses earlier this year, and the delegates are bound to back Romney at the first convention ballot in Tampa. Romney won Nevada too, but at its state GOP convention over the weekend, Paul backers laid claim to 22 of 28 delegates. They are also bound to Romney on the first convention ballot, but could switch to Paul if the voting in Tampa ever went to a second ballot. Romney won his home state primary of Massachusetts, but Paul delegates so dominated the Bay State's recent GOP convention that Paul backers could control more than half the state's delegation at the national convention. Embarrassing for the presumptive nominee. Rick Santorum won Louisiana and Minnesota at the ballot box, but he withdrew from the race, and that allowed Paul backers in both states to secure delegate majorities at both of those states' recent GOP conventions. And in the next 3 months, Paul is hoping to pack more state delegations with his supporters in states like Washington, Missouri, Nebraska, Idaho, and even Iowa, the First of the Nation caucus states. They are all certain to nominate Romney, but their numbers suggest that when they get to the convention, a lot of it's going to be about Ron Paul, Brett.
This will be interesting. Carl, thank you. Vladimir